Hello.
Lars, don't you know that if you have to meet a girl after being in the sewer, you should first take a shower?
I would have really liked to, my dear, believe me. But today is not Saturday.
I already heard that one. So why do you have that strange smile?
I found out that two homeless nobles are related. I've brought them together.
Does it have anything to do with our case?
Yeah, no.
I understand. First, the secondary quest, right? Now, can we get back to the main one?
I was able to sneak inside the factory.
How'd it go? Did you find anything?
I think, my dear, that I underestimated those people. I had to deal with a person of uncertain gender armed to the teeth whom I managed to survive only by a miracle, and thanks to my cat-like reflexes. Add to that the sketchy individual who gently suggested that I leave the case alone. And you'll have a clear picture of the current state of our investigation.
Somebody is not happy with the progress we're making.
Not at all. And the closer we get, the more I feel hunted.
The situation is more serious than I imagined. I really might have a chance for a promotion.
Hey, what about my life constantly being in danger?
Summing it all up, what do we actually know for sure?
First of all, I was able to put a name to our brown-haired mystery man. Now, the factory was registered to his name, a certain Radwed. Then I discovered that tonight an unspecified merchandise exchange will happen nearby at a local pier.
Considering the number of piers and ships anchored in Miami, it doesn't seem like enough to move forward. If only we had another hint of any kind.
I found a witness who swears he saw the lunatic who challenged me. According to this highly refined homeless person, the man uttered the word Citlalique.
Circle Ciplo what?
Yeah, I basically had the same reaction. Can you do a search?
Let's see what I can find. So, the word itself is a proper name, in particular of an Aztec deity. I think in our case it means something else, though. I did a cross-check with anything that might have local relevance. The search produced some matches: a themed hotel in the suburbs, a ship anchored here in Miami, and a strip club in nearby Miami Beach.
It must be the strip club. See you later, Alice.
Stop right there, you pervert.
You don't get it. My instincts lead me to believe that.
Keep your instinct at bay. We need to narrow down the field. We can't afford to go off at random.
All right. But I'm sure it's the strip club.
Okay.
Alice, let's think back to the clues we know for sure.
So, in the factory you found a reference to a merchandise exchange.
That will happen tonight at an unspecified pier.
Then that witness you talked to gave us a name. Citlalique.
Which, among other things, seems to be a ship anchored in Miami right now.
And here we are. I want to do another check. Give me a minute.
Don't get too carried away. The two details could be unconnected.
I don't think so. The Citlalique is a ship used for goods transport and is actually anchored at Pier 5 in the Biscayne Bay. And listen to this. It seems to be registered to none other than Kathrin Mulzberg.
I knew the man was involved with his daughter's kidnapping. Maybe by merchandise exchange. They actually mean the girl. I just have to wait now. If all goes well, I could close the case by tonight.
Listen, Lars, if you're going to sneak onto the ship alone, it'd be better to take precautions this time. Burton wanted me to compile an inventory of new gadgets which just arrived in the department, and there's one thing you absolutely have to see.
A metal bracelet. Pretty ugly too. Well?
It contains a powerful tracker that will allow me to follow your every movement.
So, if I were to disappear, you could at least find my corpse. And this other electronic thingy?
You must pay very careful attention to that. It shoots lethal lasers.
Really?
No, silly. It's simply a Bluetooth headset. This will make it easier to communicate. How do you plan to sneak aboard the ship?
I just have to arrange a ride by sea, and I know just the right smelly person for the job. If I hurry, maybe I'll be able to reach him before he leaves the city.
Lars, don't get killed.
Then, I saw him. Radwood was there, a few feet away from that crate. From back there, I couldn't hear what they were saying, but the tension seemed as tight as a bowstring. From Mama's agitated hand gestures, I realized that I was the topic of discussion. Radwood, for his part, seemed calm, almost indifferent. Was it possible that my interference had passed so unnoticed?
What are you doing here, Stallone?
Shh! Can't you see I'm trying to listen? They had thrown me inside a cold, dark cargo hold. Oh, that blow was immense. But at least I was still alive. Eugene didn't have the guts to kill me. Not yet, at least. He had also emptied my pockets. If they hadn't destroyed it, the tracker analysis bracelet would bring back up here sooner or later. But would I still be alive by then? I had to escape on my own. I found an old CD player. Old-fashioned, but still functioning. An original pony, by the way. Trying to open it, I broke the little reception antenna and was completely jammed. They were very well sealed, and I didn't have time to try opening them. Not to mention that inside, I'd have probably just found rotten fish and rum bottles. Attached to one of those crates was an inviting piece of adhesive tape, though. The winch was being powered with that cable. The winch seemed to be working. I could operate it with those commands. To use the hook, I first had to release the cable supporting it. Normally, portholes don't have a locking mechanism, yet that one wasn't opening. And more than just closed, it seemed jammed. Maybe the problem was with the hinge. I was sure the damage was in there, but I couldn't get a grip on it. Nothing. The blunt tip of the antenna slipped. Sometimes, the springs of that cot were about to give out. Literally. No exaggeration. It could collapse at any moment. I was all out of idea. The end of the bed was damaged, and a spring stuck out. I thought it was better to look. Better to look at it closely first. In that moment, better think about it. Although I tried with all my might, I couldn't break the lock with my bare hands. That hatch could become my escape route, but it was secured to the floor with a lock. The tent was worn and ripped in many places. Behind it was just a shadowy area. I thought it was better to look for... The hook was already in position. I couldn't with the hook lowered. To use the hook, I first had to release the cable supporting it. The hook would have never reached the lock. First, it was too far. Second, the porthole was closed. Did that bomb bottle really contain a secret? Well, at the very least, that month I'd save on soap. It was a thin, small metallic pole. One of the last bony CD player models. I remember one of its selling points was the ability to be remote controlled. The uselessness of that function contributed to the failure of the product, but it could help me right at the moment. The player had no intention of opening manually. I didn't know exactly why, but having some tape in my pocket made me feel like a better man. It was a lampshade. A spring I had extracted from a mattress like a tooth. Nothing. The blunt tip of the antenna slipped. I thought it was better to look for another solution. There was no way to attach the hook. Years of spy movies suddenly revealed themselves as nothing but shattered illusions. All I did was break the tip of the antenna. The winch was being powered with that cable. And that's why the porthole wasn't opening. The spring that regulated its hinge movement was rotten. I could have slid the rusty spring out of its housing, but without a replacement, I wouldn't have accomplished much. The new spring perfectly fit the housing.
You ugly rat! You again!
I must have climbed the side of the ship looking for something to eat. But wait a second. That means M is down there. Calling out loud would have alerted Radwed's men too. Maybe there was a more cunning and discreet way to attract M's attention. Maybe. Or maybe not. If I wanted M to notice me, that bulb would have to be used where it was. That wire was linked to the reflector. If only they hadn't deprived me of that beautiful extending clothes stick. I thought it was better to look for another solution. If I could point that reflector downward, I'd be able to draw M's attention. I had to pull off one of my magic maneuvers. I thought it was better to look for another solution. Maybe, or maybe not. A reflector pointed towards the high seas, probably to spot potential incoming boats. Maybe with the hook, I would be able to make something happen on the exterior of the ship. I wasn't long enough to reach the reflector, but maybe I didn't need to do that. There was nothing left to do but pull the hook hard. I couldn't lower it at the... I heard the clinking of chains coming from outside. Em had climbed like a monkey up the side of the ship. I can almost smell your ode to sewer now.
I knew it was you doing that thing with the reflector. How did you move it from a distance? Are you an illusionist?
In a way, I connected the hook of a winch to the...
If you reveal the trick, it's no fun anymore. You're the world's worst illusionist.
You're not the first to tell me I talk too much.
Did you see my spubby up there by any chance?
See? A little demon jumped all over me.
Oh no! I can't leave this place without my spubby.
I can't get out of this place, period. Give me a hand. Rather than thinking about your lousy rat.
What should I do?
Don't you have something you could help me with? I don't know, like a pick lock, a file, sawed-off shotgun? Or my former pony remote control. Very useful for matters like this. I got it. I'll help you recover that filthy creature. Look how that little critter came out of its lair. It must have an incredible sense of smell. I started to consider that the tiny thing might be helpful in creating an escape plan from that cargo hold. After all, rodents are well known to gnaw everything, aren't they? Even wood. Damn cheese eater! I really need to lure him into the open somehow. The classic domestic problem. How to capture a little pest that can crawl anywhere and run away at the speed of light. Simple answer, with a trap. It was ideal as bait, but first, I needed to come up with something to assure me that trap would trigger once the rat was inside it. I needed a way to remote control it. Interesting idea, but not with the CD player closed. My clumsy lock-picking attempt just managed to break the antenna. I thought it was better to look for another solution. Curiously, the two devices were the same brand. I wondered if there was a way to open the CD player by using the remote control. I would need help. Curiously, the two devices... I wondered if there was a way to... I would need help. I didn't understand how that could possibly help. Psst, psst. Where'd you learn to climb so well, kid?
Have you ever tried climbing a filthy and slime-filled sewer tube? By comparison, a chain is like taking an escalator.
It's my understanding that you know a lot about technology.
More than you, obviously, given the cell phone you carry around.
I just found this old-fashioned CD player and realized it's the same brand as my TV. My hope is that I can use the remote control to make the CD player work from a distance.
But you don't know how to set it.
I don't even know what set it means precisely.
If your remote control is universal, it could work. Do exactly what I tell you. Hold down the function and power buttons together for a few seconds. If you hear a beep, it means it worked.
Hey, it really worked. You never cease to surprise me, you naughty rascal. Can you do anything from down there?
Anything like what?
I don't know exactly. Can you look inside that window and tell me what you see?
It seems to be an office. There's a big map hanging on the wall, a desk full of papers, and a safe.
Do you think you can sneak inside and take a look up close?
No, the window is closed from the inside.
I always have to do everything myself. Try not to be seen by anyone, kid. The CD player was open. It was ideal as bait, but first, I needed to come up with something to assure me that trap would trigger once the rat was inside it. I needed a way to remote control it. I thought it was better to look for another solution. Sometimes, my obsession with using random items didn't lead anywhere. A technological rat trap was coming to life in my ingenious hands. I had the trap I needed. That was the best spot for the plan I had in mind. Force the rat to dig its way through the wood. I waited a few seconds, but that rotten rat did not show up. I probably scared him. Try not to be seen by anyone, kid. Gotcha! Little guy, you're gonna be my ticket out of here. I felt a bit sorry for the rat, but not so much as to free him. The little rat was evidently scared, upset, and desperately looking for a way out, just like me. If I could just make it dig. Was it really worth it? No matter how hard I tried, I couldn't see a good reason to do that. That hatch could become my escape route, but it was secured to the floor with a lock. Sometimes, my obsession with using random items. The bulb was very hot. I burned my hand, even with the gloves. The lamp was emitting enough heat to cause the rat to dig down. I just needed to power the bulb now. I was close enough to power the bulb, but how could I plug it in? Better think about it. I could insulate the antenna with tape, but I didn't see any reason why. Maybe it would have been better to take some precautions before attempting such a move. Maybe, or maybe not. The heat of the bulb spread quickly inside the trap. At the beginning, the rat ran around in circles, panicking. Then I realized it could only escape in one way, by digging. Now I just have to enlarge the hole. At that moment, the winch was powerless, so it would have been useless to operate the hook. Better not to touch it more than necessary. Sometimes, my obsession with using random items didn't lead anywhere. The rat had opened a hole in the hatch, but it was still too small to pass through it. I could insulate the antenna with tape, but I didn't see any reason why. Sometimes, my obsession with using random items didn't lead anywhere. The winch might have been useful to enlarge that hole. Ready for some healthy destruction? No hatch, massive door, or prison can stop Lazarus Bundy. Hey, Em.
I don't know how you did it, but Spubby is here.
Yeah, I can barely contain my joy. Now go back to your dinghy and keep the engines ready. We're about to depart from this hellish ship.
Thank goodness. I don't like this place.
Huh, you're scared, huh?
Not at all. It's just that it's cold out here, and I want to go back home.
And now, we're out of here. I found myself in a cabin full of documents, papers, and a huge map hanging on the wall. On the table, I glimpsed a box containing all my belongings. I intended to retrieve them, and then run away like the wind. phone started to vibrate as soon as I picked it up. Must have been Alice trying to make contact to figure out what happened to me. Alice, it's not exactly the best time to talk. I'm about to jump overboard.
I assume you were able to infiltrate the Citlalique. Remarkable.
You.
It's a real pleasure to finally be able to chat, even if not face to face as I'd hoped.
You son of a...
I prefer you call me Doctor. And why so much spite towards me? I'm just trying to give your career a little boost.
By kidnapping a girl? I'd rather stayed sitting on my hands.
I wouldn't be so sure about that. But we'll talk about that another time. I'm dying to know how your investigation's going, so please tell me. Have you already found it?
Found it? Haha, of course. I found everything.
I'm afraid not. And indeed, your situation is not the best. That ship will be your grave if you don't decipher the riddle that lies within as soon as possible. In the main cabin, to be precise. You'll recognize it by the huge map hanging on the wall.
You bastard. This whole thing is just a game to you. A sadistic game with the life of an innocent at stake.
The life of two innocents, as you have surely already discovered. At this point, I'm curious, Lazarus. What do you think about the kidnapping of Kathrin Mulzberg?
Kathrin is carrying Radwed's baby, and that's what he wants. But I don't understand simulating a kidnapping if the girl was consenting.
That's exactly the point. She wasn't. The girl was mentally reconditioned. Her entire sentimental story with Radwed was created and well orchestrated. Even the baby's conception.
But why? What's so special about that baby to make someone engineer such a plot?
Now you're pretending to know too much, Lazarus. But the clock is ticking. I suggest you spend your time trying to find what's hidden on the Citlalique. One last hint. You have the solution to everything in your pocket. Even if you still don't get it. The hourglass is emptying, Lazarus. See you soon.
I hated admitting it, but the doctor had managed to replace my healthy instinct for survival with an irrational need to turn that cabin upside down. Until that moment, I hadn't learned anything concrete, and the situation was starting to burn at me. I needed a victory, even the smallest one, to find the strength to proceed, but I couldn't achieve it by myself.
Hello?
Miss Sharp, I'm Inspector Burton. I was about to drink my 5th afternoon cognac when I decided to promote you as an intern for life. Congratulations.
Lars? Lars, is that you?
Hey, how'd you recognize me?
Has anybody informed you that phones now show the number of an incoming call?
Mine doesn't.
Your phone dates back to 95, Lars. Wait a minute. You're not on the Citlalique, are you?
I'm calling you directly from the oceanic flows.
Are you in danger? Do you need me to send backup?
Well, I've been locked inside a cold, dark cargo hold for a while, and it's only thanks to the supersonic speed of my brain that I managed to get out.
Or combining random objects or breaking things like you usually do.
After that, I received an interesting phone call from the doctor.
The doctor? You mean the man you've been hunting for days?
Precisely. It seems he wants to be called that.
We've established that he likes theatrics then. Are you hurt?
Only my feelings. This guy doesn't want to kill me, Alice. He's having too much fun with me.
He creeps me out. Anyway, you better leave that ship, and soon.
There's a situation I need to tie up first, but I need your assistance.
Then it's time to use the Bluetooth device I gave you. Involve me in all your steps.
Roger, do you receive me?
Loud and clear.
I can't take my mind off the last words of the doctor. You have the solution in your pocket. What if it was another one of his subtle clues? Let's get to work. God, there's such a mess on this table. Don't they have a cleaning lady around here?
You wish, so you could repeat your trick with the bloody heart.
That was really epic. There's a safe in the room. From the look of it, I'd say it's going to be a tough nut to crack.
Can you read its model?
Let's see. Secure Master Core 2.5.
Bad news. I am browsing a blog of professional safecrackers, and it seems nobody has yet found a way to open that specific model. Or at least, a way that does not involve using an abundance of dynamite or liquid hydrogen.
Sorry, is a blog of professional safecrackers really a thing?
You'd be surprised what circulates on the deep web.
Anyway, it seems clear the only way to open this safe is to find the right combination. I don't think the doctor would play so dirty that he wouldn't provide me with all the necessary information to face his challenge. The combination must be somewhere in here.
We're sure that trying random combinations wouldn't do any good.
Hanging on the wall is a large map.
Describe it to me meticulously.
It is represented as a map of the entire world, but actually it is missing entire continents, including North America. Seems antique.
If it's missing the more recently discovered continents, it could be traced back to the time of the ancient Romans. Are there any decorations?
No, nothing specific.
This doesn't add up. Normally maps like that always display a symbol, the windrose. It should be there.
What if it was removed for some reason?
I think we should follow this lead since we have nothing better. Look for anything that might refer to the windrose.
A device measuring the pressure and the altitude and
You live in Miami and you don't know the first thing about boats?
if you can believe it, I don't even know how to swim. I have to find something to help me with the map. But what?
Earth calling Lars! We agreed that you'd search for something that refers to the windrose. Do you remember?
Yeah. My memory has been playing tricks on me ever since Mr. Ramos almost broke my head.
Sometimes I remain enchanted just by opening and closing that lighter for minutes at a time. No matter how hard I try.
I have to find something to help.
Earth call...
Yeah. It's not yet time to leave. I have a challenge to win. It's not yet time to abandon ship. I have a challenge to win.
I don't understand how you can say something like that. I'd run like hell as fast as possible.
But I'm a professional, intern.
What did we say about the intern?
Sorry.
Wait a second, Alice. When the doctor suggested I have the solution in my pocket, maybe it wasn't just an expression. The chest note I found along with Kathrin and Radwed's photo. It must mean something, and maybe it's even linked to the riddle hidden in this room.
It seems plausible. Describe the note to me.
There are some chess diagrams, a few colored in red and others in green.
The combination of color and chess could be a movement suggestion. You know how it works, right?
Chess? It always seemed to me a pastime for manic obsessives.
You don't know how wrong you are. Ask if you need instructions.
On one side of the note, there's also a windrose. That could be a reference to the map in the cabin, couldn't it?
At this point, I'd be surprised if it were otherwise.
Okay, let's get to work.
I have to find something to help me with the map.
Earth call...
Yeah.
A rook.
The rook can move in as many free squares as you want, but only in horizontal or vertical lines.
A knight.
In chess, a knight moves in an L pattern, so 2 squares vertical followed by 1 horizontal, or vice versa.
A rook.
The rook can move in as many free squares as you want, but only in horizontal or vertical lines.
There's a funny piece, with its head cut in two.
The bishop. You can move it in any diagonal direction, as many open squares as you want.
I was not an expert on the subject, but it looked like a windrose to me. A knight.
In chess, a knight moves in an L pattern, so 2 squares vertical followed by 1 horizontal, or vice versa. Try to find something that relates to the windrose. Anything at all.
Let's see. A few incomprehensible projects, an incomprehensible sort of logbook, a completely incomprehensible stack of papers. Then we have playing cards, a few chips, nuts, and a drink. Somebody went buck wild in here.
Come on, Lars. Don't waste time.
Wait a minute. Here it is. A magnet with the windrose engraved on it.
This is confirmation that we're on the right track.
Okay, I have the windrose. Now what do I do?
Let me check.
Maybe on the deep web there's also a nice blog for code breakers of old Roman maps where a windrose is missing.
Okay, I found a website that seems reliable. If the map is a reference to the ancient Romans, there's only one spot where that magnet should be placed.
Rome, obviously.
Wrong. Apparently the Romans were convinced that the origin of the winds wasn't in Rome, but an unspecified point in the Ionian Sea.
Copy that. It's make or break time.
I didn't like that noise.
I think you inserted the wrong code, but look on the bright side. Now we are sure that the map hides some sort of mechanism.
I counted 7 moves before the warning triggered. That narrows things down, but we're still talking about thousands of potential matches. What I need is a reference.
In the meantime, return the rows to the starting position. I bet the mechanism will reset.
A knight.
In chess, a knight moves in an L pattern, so 2 squares vertical followed by 1 horizontal, or vice versa.
A rook.
The rook can move in as many free squares as you want, but only in horizontal or vertical lines.
A knight.
In chess, a knight moves in an L pattern, so 2
A knight.
In chess, a knight moves in an L pattern, so 2 squares.
There's a funny piece with its head cut in two.
The bishop. You can move it in any diagonal direction, as many open squares as you want.
A knight.
In chess, a knight moves in an L pattern, so 2 squares vertical followed by 1 horizontal, or vice versa.
A rook.
The rook can move in as many free squares as you want, but only in horizontal or vertical lines. What was that metallic clank?
That, my dear, was the sweet sound of success. Safe is open.
That means its mechanism was just a smokescreen. Very ingenious.
But why did the doctor give me suggestions on how to solve the riddle of the Citlalique?
Maybe he was feeding the challenge by giving you some hints.
I hope next time he sends a few pistachios instead. I love pistachios. Alice, I hear steps in the hallway.
Do something, hurry!
It's not what it looks like.
Lars? Lars!
It's not what it looks like.
Lars? Lars!
God, there's such a mess on this table. Don't they have a cleaning lady around here?
You wish.
It's not what it looks like.
Lars? Lars!
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 Suck on that, Doctor.
What's happening? Are you okay?
I gained some precious seconds, but I've got to move. The safe contained mostly paperwork, bearer bonds, property records, and notarial deeds. But something else caught my attention. It was a small obsidian item that partially reflected my image. All that fuss just to hide a little mirror. And yet, I immediately understood that this wasn't an ordinary mirror. I could sense its power running through my veins. It was like holding something alive.
Lars! Lars! Pull yourself together, Lars! You said you have to move, and instead you've been gawping there for 2 minutes now.
2 minutes? Damn, this little thing hypnotized me. I'm hanging up. We'll catch up when I'm back.
Do get in touch.
Ah! Go!
After my incursion aboard the Cite Lalique, I knew I should expect another private visit, this time without any possibility of a rain check. I wasn't wrong. The same individual that approached me a few hours earlier had returned, and this time he wouldn't go away with just some simple chatter. Besides, at that point, I was tired of talking as well.
You have nowhere to go!
Are you sure about that?
Hey, freshwater sailor. Open your eyes. Come on, I haven't got all day.
Ew, what?
Rise and shine, little princess.
So, it all happened for real, and I'm still alive.
Or are we both dead and this is heaven? The sight is like I imagined it to be. Now, if we're finished with the small talk, let's get to it. I have a Slavic witness rambling in an unintelligible language about two men beating each other up on a public bridge in the middle of the night. I am forced to deduce by the circumstances that one of the two men was you.
It was a true and proper assault, old man. I was riding around on my green dart when, all of a sudden...
Don't bullshit me, Bundy. I know very well what you're doing. If I let you do what you want, it's only because of the respect that I feel for you. But you went too far tonight.
You're not the first one to tell me that.
But I'll be the last. I took your badge back, and this time I'll lock it up so tight that even a funambulist trick won't be enough to get it back. The Mulzberg case is hiding more than it seemed in the beginning. I can agree with you on that. But your methods make me blow a gasket. You have concealed evidence from the authorities. You scared potential witnesses to death. You alarmed our main suspect. And on top of that, you dragged Miss Sharp down with you.
Alice has nothing to do with this mess. She didn't even know I was acting alone.
It's too late now for melodramatic scenes. Alice Sharp was suspended from her already precarious duties, and for that she'll have to thank a man who could have helped make her career. Goodbye, Bundy. In the end, you really disappointed me.
It was a tough blow. I had nothing to lose in that whole story, and I jumped headlong into it. But Alice... I destroyed a dream nurtured for years, and was just started to materialize. I felt like a worm. Going home to rest on a real bed seemed like the best idea in the world at the moment. I'd think about the rest later.
Lars!
Oh, you scared the shit out of me. Wait, how'd you get in my flat?
By the door. You're not used to locking the door when you leave, are you?
I know this might seem like a maniacal habit, but the key to this door is somewhere in the city sewers. Alice, I guess I owe you an apology.
I agree, you do. Or else you could get me out of the situation you've gotten me into rather than wasting your time feeling sorry for yourself.
We just have to give it a little time. Then I'll talk to Burton. I'm sure he'll be willing to give you another chance.
You have to face the truth. Burton wants nothing more to do with you, me, or what we have done. Let's admit it. We acted on impulse, sought glory on our own. And do you know what happens now?
What happens is that you'll go your way, and I'll go mine. And maybe we'll catch up once a year to wish each other Merry Christmas with a phone call full of silence and embarrassment.
What happens is that we roll up our sleeves and we really do find the glory on our own.
You'll find a good workplace, despite everything. Maybe not in law enforcement as you hoped. Maybe as a waitress or a cleaning lady. But you'll manage to move on somehow.
Lars? Did you hear what I just said?
Then kids will come, sweet innocent children that will instill in you a new hope for the future. Wait a minute, what? Are you serious?
Never been more serious. We got so close, Lars. I heard what happened tonight. If Rodwed came for you in person, it's because deep down he considers you a real threat.
Did you know I was able to beat him like an omelet against the mailboxes out here?
Did it happen before or after he threw you out of the building?
There's something wrong with that man. First of all, he lifted me off the ground with one hand like I was a 6-year-old child. Furthermore, and you probably won't believe this, but I saw him. Yes, I saw him age at least 30 years right before my eyes, in just a few seconds.
No snarky comments? Is that a positive or negative sign?
Having reached this stage, I am ready to accept pretty much anything. Except aliens. Don't you dare propose any theories about aliens.
Yeah, only that lunatic from Weird Cases believes in aliens. Anyhow, how do you explain such a phenomenon?
This individual, and also the doctor, they seem to share a certain taste for theatrics. Could it just be a trick, an illusion? After all, it was dark.
I can't rule it out for sure, but couldn't you do some research about it anyway?
There was no need to ask. What will you do in the meantime? By now, you've exhausted all your valid leads.
I should find out what that strange obsidian item was that I found on board the Citlalique.
But during the struggle tonight, I saw something drop down the hole in the floor out here, and I'm pretty sure it was Radwed's smartphone. I'd say that's the top priority.
Then I'll wait for your progress. From now on, we'll use your house as our headquarters.
Fine by me.
Don't expect me to clean it, though.